When most people think of estate planning, they picture numbers, documents, or lawyers. But at its heart, estate planning is about people, the ones you love most, and how you can care for them no matter what happens. For many, that means children or grandchildren. For others, it might include a sibling, an elderly parent, or even a beloved pet. Whoever depends on you, this lesson is about making sure their care continues, smoothly, compassionately, and just the way you'd want. Thinking about guardianship or care arrangements can feel uncomfortable. No one wants to imagine not being there. But here's the truth. By planning now, you make life gentler for those you love later. Without a clear plan, your family could face uncertainty, conflict, or difficult decisions made in a rush. With a thoughtful plan, you give them something powerful: clarity, comfort, and peace of mind. This lesson will help you begin that process. Together, we'll look at how to identify who relies on you, what kind of care or support they need, and how to express your wishes clearly. In writing, in your plan, and even in personal letters that share your values and love. First, thinking about guardianship. If you have children, one of the most important decisions you'll make is who would care for them if you couldn't. There are two types of guardianship to think about: short-term or temporary care. This covers short periods. For example, if you're hospitalized or out of reach. Who would pick your children up from school? Who could stay with them for a few days? These short-term arrangements can be made in advance to avoid confusion or involvement from Child Protective Services during a crisis. Long-term guardianship. This is for the unimaginable, if you pass away or become permanently unable to care for your children. A guardian of the person handles daily care, love, and decisions about schooling, while a guardian of the estate or custodian handles any assets left for them. It's okay to name different people for these roles, one who's nurturing and another who's financially responsible. Second, who has guardianship if there's a living parent? If you share legal custody of your child and you pass away, the surviving parent typically assumes full custody, unless a court finds them unfit. Your will can express your preference for guardianship, but it doesn't override a living parent's legal rights. That said, it's still helpful to document your wishes. If your co-parent passes away, or if you are the surviving parent, your written plan will guide what happens next and make transitions easier for everyone involved. Third, choosing the right guardian. When deciding on a guardian, focus on the qualities that matter most, not just practicalities. Ask yourself, who shares your values or parenting approach? Who would provide emotional stability and a safe, loving home? Does this person have the time and capacity to take on the role? Would your child be comfortable in their care? Would they support your child's relationships with extended family? It's also important to think about location. Would your child need to move schools or cities? Some parents prefer their child to stay in their current home. That's possible too if your estate provides resources to maintain the home, or if a guardian could move in. Remember, there's no perfect choice. What matters is that you choose with care, and talk to the people you're considering to make sure they're willing and comfortable with the responsibility. Fourth, creating a good experience for children. Your estate plan isn't just legal documents. It can include personal guidance that makes your child's experience more compassionate and connected. Here are a few ideas. Write a letter to the guardian. Share your hopes for your child, routines they love, and your approach to parenting. Describe their personality, fears, favorite foods, and bedtime rituals. All the small things that make them who they are. Write a letter to your child. This can be one of the most meaningful gifts you leave. Express your love, encouragement, and the lessons you hope they carry forward. You can update these letters every few years. They don't have to be perfect, they just have to be you. These letters can be stored alongside your estate plan or in your My Estate Kit app folder labeled Personal Legacy Letters. Fifth, caring for pets. Pets are family too, and they deserve the same thoughtfulness. Ask yourself, who would care for them if you were temporarily unable to? Who would you trust for long-term care if you passed away? Would you want to set aside funds for their care, food, vet bills, grooming? Some people create a pet trust or simply include written instructions for a caregiver. You can even include details like preferred foods, medical needs, and your pet's favorite toys. Anything that helps them transition with comfort and familiarity. Sixth, don't forget the financial side. Part of caring for your dependents, whether they're people or pets, is making sure resources are in place. If you set aside funds for children, choose a custodian or trustee who can manage money responsibly. If you include pet care, you can assign a small fund to the person who will care for them, ensuring they're not financially burdened. These decisions don't need to be final today, but organizing your ideas now makes later planning smoother and more personal. Open your worksheet, Caring for Children and Loved Ones. Complete these simple steps. 1. List each dependent, children, elderly relatives, or pets. 2nd, describe their care needs, emotional, educational, medical, or daily support. 3rd, name temporary and long-term caregivers you trust. 4th, note the qualities that matter to you in a guardian or caregiver. 5th, write one sentence about what kind of upbringing, care, or values you hope they'll experience. 6th, optional, draft a short letter to your guardian or child. You can revise it anytime. Every note you make is a building block of peace and stability for your loved ones.